All right, YouTube should be broadcasting. Nope. No VIP room tomorrow. Someone asked me. Okay. On. I got this. Oh, we actually have a lot of people here today, Matt. Yeah, so far. Good morning, Rebecca. How are you? Long time no talk. Hey, Robert. How are you? How is everybody doing today? Let me just share my screen with you while we chit chat. Is Matt's volume low? I don't know. I haven't heard him say anything. I don't think so. Please say some comforting words of wisdom. Well, let me get there first. Let me share my screen before I get into any words of wisdom. Hey, Ellie Fruto, how are you? Good to see you. Hopefully I got your name right. Will tomorrow off you think we get a bounce? I do, and I'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. I'll talk about all of that. So here's the S&P 500. Let's make sure. Oh, it's all good, Marshall. And I responded to your email, Marshall, as well. Wes, good morning. Oh, it's okay. You could talk, Rebecca. It's good. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Cyrus. Ken, how are you? And I'm not going to be in a meeting or anything tomorrow. Recruit scored 100 this AM on Meta. What a rush. Better to be lucky than good, Roger. And the team will help with consistency. 110% on Meta. Good, Sean. Let me can you repost that, Matt? Or I can repost. All right. You got it?
Oh,
Okay.
you got it. Yeah, I got it. Let me just repost that. That's nice. That's glad to hear that, Sean. Michael, Tony. So I will be around tomorrow. I'm going to be in St. Pete with my family. I'm just going to be hanging out. So I will be on my Telegram channel. I'm not going to be with 8 monitors and all that, but I'll keep you guys posted. I'll let you know what's going on. The pain with everyone, just to be great to be guarded by a couple of Florida wisdom. Thank you, Carlos. Krish, good morning. Kirk says I need a swat on the butt. Well, that could be interpreted many different ways. Bodine says had pancakes today for comfort. Now thinking cookies or hot chocolate. There you go. Roger, regarding Meta, I believe it's going up because all those shorts are buying to exit. It has not yet filled the gap to 106. We'll talk about Meta in a little bit. I'm going to be starting in about a minute. I'm just reading all the nice words. Michael, good morning to you too. Gaston, how are you? Cyrus, Ken, get that home. Tony, hello. PM, where in St. Pete am I going? I have no idea where in St. Pete I'm going. My wife reserved it. She just told us she got the minivan. I'm taking it's my mom's, it's on the 26th of this month, which is tomorrow, is my mom's 75th birthday. And my mom and my in-laws, they all moved here. I moved them here to Florida. I bought my mom a house across the street from us. And my in-laws, they were doing fine. They live right here in Nocatee, actually, a few blocks from where we're broadcasting. So I never take them anywhere. They don't really like to go many places. And both of my in-laws and my mom had some minor health problems. So I figured I'd take them to St. Pete, and while we're there, my daughter, who is in school in Tampa, in the college there, that she will meet us and we'll all hang out for the weekend. So it's just we're just getting a change of pace, driving 3.5 hours. I'm going to leave in about 2 hours, 3 hours, and head out there. Thank you. So, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. So that's pretty much it. There's no, I don't have like a major agenda or anything like that. Just going hanging out with my mom. Yes, I'm trying to keep you guys out of harm's way. So I actually don't know where in St. Pete, but I know it's right at the ocean, right at like we're getting a place right by the ocean. And I know food there is really good because I've eaten there before and the food was really, really good. And I really
Italian food's good down there.
Italian food. That's exactly what we're eating there, Italian food. All right, so let's begin. So S&P 500. At first, thank you everybody. I appreciate it. I figure believe it or not, I feel like I'm very close to all of you, even though we don't know each other personally. We do kind of know each other virtually, and I talk to a lot of you via email, and I've met a lot of you in the broadcasts. And thank you, Todd. My pleasure, my pleasure. So the point is that I do feel like you guys are a big part of my life, all of you. So that's why I try to keep you guys all on the right side of the market. Sound good, Stephen. We got the loop ready to go. All right, let's talk about the market. I do have a lot to talk about today. Let's see here. All right. So we are in the middle of a gap. We're kind of in the twilight zone, as I like to call it. Matt, you could see my screen, right? Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
While it's on your end, it's definitely on your end. You should be able to see my screen. Okay. So right now we're looking at my screen, and we're looking at the SPY, and you could see how it clipped off of the 100-day moving average. It bounced down, but it made a higher high and didn't go all the way down. And I am seeing some buying pressure coming in. Excuse me. Also, let me just move this away. Notice today it looks like we're building a base. It doesn't look like we're running away to fill the gap, which is not a great sign. Oh, I got hiccups. Usually, congrats, Cyrus. Usually what happens is we gap down and we probe the areas. It looks here like we could have built the low, and if that's the case, we will start coming back up. That's why I always like to go long stocks that have been going up for a long time, and I like to short stocks that have been going down for a long time. That way, if we have a major surprise one way or the other, it shouldn't impact the stock that we're targeting too much, because that stock has already been doing what it's been doing for God knows how long, right? So it's not going to be a major breaker. Please don't mention the name, but the stock we just shorted in the trading pit about, I don't know, half hour ago or so. Time gets away from me. Notice it's been going down for a long time. It's not a stock. So my son too, Rebecca. He's graduating. He's getting his bachelor's in UF. He's actually graduating. He's on a late admission, so he's graduating in August. So look at that. You and I have something in common. Very good. That's very cool. That's good. Your son must be smart. That's a hard school to get into. Yeah, my son he wants to be a vet. He's just finishing his bachelor's right now. Very cool. That's good to know. Cool. Cool. Very cool. Maybe you and I will meet each other there one day. So anyhow, watch this area. Now, this is important. The longer it takes us to get into the gap, the worse the odds of us leaving the scene of the crime. You like that, Matt? Scene of the crime?
Yep.
This is the scene of the crime. And it's kind of like this, the longer you stay at the scene of the crime, the higher the odds you're going to get caught, right? The faster you move away from the scene of the crime, the higher odds you will escape. I'm trying to bring some humor into this, but I'm trying to, believe it or not, I'm going somewhere with this. So if we just hover around here and just kind of hover around here, and the bears will start getting more comfortable around these levels, and they'll start thinking that value will be created here. For right now, this is still price. Value is trying to determine where it should be. But the longer we hang out here, the longer value will adapt to these levels, and the harder it'll be for us to escape the scene of the crime, okay? I will be using that term quite a lot from now on, so just remember, the scene of the crime. the initial place we want to escape from. So if we break out the level we want to break out, again, that pesky 500 level keeps biting us in the ass, right, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just that 500 level just keeps biting us in the butt. But that's kind of what we're trying to break. If we can break 500 easily and start really filling in this gap, hopefully no later than 1 p.m., it'll be good. Also, another consideration is we have Microsoft and Google earnings. Now, most of the FANG stocks so far have not been good earnings. Ironically, one beat and the other underperformed, and one went up 10% and the other one up down 10%. Just shows you how predictable earnings are, right? Just a crapshoot, total crap. Look, if you don't believe me, what happened with Meta and what happened with Tesla is the perfect example of why you should never trade earnings. One stock had a 10% gain in earnings, and the other stock had a 10% drop in earnings. One stock opened down 10%, and the other stock opened up 10%. Wrong, the opposite stock. So you see what I mean? You just don't you don't know. You don't know. Now, I've heard in the grapevines there are people who can do it successfully. I'm not one of them, and I've never seen anyone do it over time. When I say over time, minimum of 1,000 trades. If you don't have 1,000 trades, it's not statistically valid, okay? For purposes of, long term, for making very strong statements like that, okay? So just FYI. So again, the levels we want to keep an eye on right now. Right, exactly, Brett. Which means you should treat them like a lottery. And lottery's great. Like if you want to put 20 cents into something, hey, God bless you, 20 bucks into a trade, why not? So right now the market doesn't know what to do with itself, but if there's sometimes before earnings, an hour or two, the market gets a whisper or a number. Now Google, and there's two things that can happen. I don't think both stocks are going to come out with bad numbers. Okay. Also, Microsoft and Google have been performing pretty well, and the expected range on Apple is only about 4.5%, 5%. Let me see what it is on Google. Do you guys know what it is on Google? I don't know what it is on Google. Let's see. Let's see what it is on Google. It's nice to have this information in at your fingertips. Isn't Google also tonight? Maybe this is wrong. I think Google's coming out tonight. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Google's tonight. Am I wrong? Google didn't come out yet. Let me, Matt. Tonight. Yeah. This thing was just wrong. Sorry about that. But with that said, look at the expectation. 6% on Google. Thank you. 6% on Google, and only 4.8 on Microsoft. Okay. So if you guys think that there's a level of foreseeability there, my crystal ball doesn't know, and I don't know either. But what I do believe is I believe in numbers, and the fact is 75% of FANG stocks outperform 75% of the time, and we've had pretty much bad stuff from Tesla, from what is it, from Meta. They haven't been that great. So I am actually expecting better numbers, much better numbers from Google and or Microsoft. Also, I want to say something else. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to give you my 5 cents. And Matt's been on this for 7 months, 8 months now, maybe even more, maybe a year now. AI is still hot. You know why Musk turned things around? Oh, we're not a car company. We're an AI company focusing on AI. No, he's not. He's a car company. I haven't seen anything from him AI-wise, except for cars, okay? So Google and Microsoft are going to be all over AI, 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 AI. They're going to say AI more times than you can imagine, okay? So I think we're going to see something positive. Now, am I speculating right now? Am I using statistics and odds and all that stuff? Yes. Technically, looking at the market, we're right in between we're in the twilight zone. We're between the 50 and the 100-day moving average. which means more likely than not, we will stay here until we see a strong breakout one way or the other. Okay? One way or the other. But right now, I wouldn't be jumping. I would be, if I wanted to put on longs, I would wait. Why? Well, think about this. Think about how much upside, how much recovery the market has if it goes up. Does it really matter to you if you get in here or right here? Because if the market's going to go up, it's going to break the 50-day moving average, or more likely than not, it will test the 50-day moving average, and probably, unless there's some positive news, will break down further. But we still have all of this room to go. Okay. Yeah, I'll see it when I believe it, Eric. There was a time you said Tesla was better. I did. I said it 3 years ago. I haven't seen anything in 3 years. That's the that's my whole point, guys. I hope you guys didn't miss my point. I believed everything he was saying. I had no reason not to believe him, like everybody else did. But then 3-4 years went by. Ken, when was I? How many years ago? Now you remember things. How many years ago was I saying this? How many years ago was I saying this? Yeah, thank you. 3 to 4 years ago. Okay. What have we learned in the last 3-4 years? He hasn't made that whole self-driving, a real self-driving car never came out. We don't have a self-driving. Matter of fact, I saw a thing about a kid getting sued for driving Tesla on autopilot and running over a motorcycle just the other day, literally just the other day. Oh, look at energies, Matt. I like energies a lot. We'll get into all of that. So nothing good has come out. Nothing has happened in those 3-4 years. So nothing has happened. I haven't seen any of these developments in batteries. I haven't seen a new model. That original Model S that he came out with, it's still the same model that he came out 12 years ago. I'm not seeing that huge. I'll tell you what I am seeing. I'm seeing Toyota, BMW, and a crapload of other companies catching up. That's what I've been seeing. I don't see him ahead of it anymore. You know, Ford was a tech company too 100 years ago, but then everybody caught up, right? Okay, I don't want to get into all of that. I think you guys get the point. Yes. What has changed in 3-4 years? More electric cars that are not from him on the road. And by the way, everything I'm saying right now happens to be reflected perfectly in his price of the stock. That's more than I could say. All right, the SPY's now back at the VWAP. You could see here we're still probing. As I said, the longer we stay here, the worse it's going to be. A little bit of fundamentals, but I am thinking one of those two stocks is going to be positive and will lift the market. That's why I'm going short stocks that have been going down before this whole Michigas started. Stocks that are just doing terrible before any of this started. As far as today's report, okay. So the personal consumption went down. That's good. That's good. This, by the way, folks, this may give us a little bit of a green light in the next core CPI, because think about it. If personal consumption expenditures are going down from a year ago, this may be helping us. But either way, this is not bad. This is actually pretty good that personal consumption is going down. What we want to see is this staying healthy. This is saying that economic growth is slowing down to a crawl. One of the reasons why credit card companies are softening a little bit today. Visa looks like it may start becoming a good short. I pray to God you guys are taking notes and writing all of this down. I agree with you, John. So this number was bad. Matter of fact, I think today the market, the blue chips would have actually held the market fairly well. And I mean, they were down only about 100, 200 points, about 170 points. And then the news came out. I think they would have come up. I think that they would have actually helped tech. I think we would have been somewhere right here, but for the GDP. And that's one of the reasons why I did not want to initiate any positions yesterday in the pit. Not because of because I could have easily said, hey, I'll just avoid tech. Like today, notice I put on a position. We still have tech earnings because the GDP is done. Because GDP will affect every industry and sector. More blue chips than others. But do you guys understand the difference? Why? Okay, Roger, why didn't you put on a trade ahead of Meta, but why did you put a trade on ahead of because because GDP, not because of earnings, because of GDP. You could use earnings and still buy or sell a stock. You could look at earnings. A, you can go entirely different sector. B, you could pick a stock, as I said, that's been going up or down before earnings started. C, you can go with a stock that's been completely negating the market for the last 5 days. In other words, assuming the market's been going up, you could find a stock that's been going. So there's ways like I just did in the pit for you guys. But or like how we have it, a lot of the energy stocks, they're not that correlated to Google or Meta. They're very correlated to the GDP. Okay. So again, I just want you guys to understand that certain things have more influence to what we do, and certain things have less influence to what we do. And you guys, and hopefully by you spending all these hours here, some of that will be ingrained in your head. You'd be surprised if you've been coming here every day, you would be amazed at how much more you know about the market than most other gurus that you listen to, or most folks that you listen to on CNBC, just by following the basic principles of what I've showed you time and time and time and time and time and time again. There you go, Adam. So what am I thinking about the market? A lot of volatility, probably upside unless we really don't do anything in the next couple of hours, and I think we will. I do believe we're going to start coming up and start testing this, accepting. I think value is going to start accepting these levels right here. I do. I don't think it's going to reject. So far, it's rejected it, but I think it's going to start accepting it. And we are above the VWAP. Not that it means all that much right now. All right. Another thing that's positive, that's keeping me hopeful that this market is not completely good. That's the point. I wanted it to rub off of you. Good wall. Lotto puts. Look at that. People are starting to get it together. Steve says rubbed off of you. All right. That's good. That's good. Post it here. Okay. Why doesn't the VWAP mean as much? Well, that's a great question. Unfortunately, I'm going to answer that question. I will answer that question because it's an important question. Although I was going to move on to something else, I'll answer that question. So, and by the way, even though tech is down, look at semiconductors. Coming down now, but hey, up 1% and tech is down 1.4. Okay, why doesn't the VWAP mean so much? Okay, so what's the purpose of the VWAP? The VWAP is supposed to determine average value at price, right? Based on all the underlying trades. Look at can you find value here? So remember the example I keep giving you guys? You guys are looking to buy a house. You go to a subdivision and you're looking for a house in a subdivision in a cul-de-sac, and one house is 400,000, the other house is 2 million, the other house is 800,000, the other house is 600,000, the other house is 5 million. What's your house worth? You're all over the place. You're all over the place. Now, what if I go into a subdivision and everything is right here? Everything is priced like this. 14, one house is 14. The other house is 1430. The other house is 1412. The one house is 500,000. The other house is 510. The other house is 490. The other house is 495. The other house is 508. What is your house worth? My point is, how do you determine the true value of something when you have this level of movement overnight? It's hard. So the truth is, we have a distributing market. Sellers are distributing price. When sellers are distributing price, you're not going to find value because you're in an imbalanced market. You need to have balance to find value. Value equals balance. Balance equals value. Imbalance equals havoc. Can you make sense when prices are going all over the place? Anytime you want to know why, put yourself in a position of an auction. You're watching an auction right now. That's what you're doing. You're watching an auction. And sooner than later, I'm going to start teaching you guys about market profile and how that works, which is what I just did right now. There's only two kind of prices. There's accepting prices, if this accepts higher, or rejecting. So far, we've been rejecting. Let's see if we can accept these prices. All right. So I'm talking about order flow. I'm talking about really getting into the meat and potatoes of this market. Okay. I like how this is moving higher. That's looking good, looking good, looking really good. Okay. You're looking for weather conditions. Is local. Oh, all right. Thank you. Thank you, PM. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. All right. So you guys know how I feel about the market. You know, we have earnings. We have a lot of volatility right now. Also, I gave you guys a free spread. I gave you guys a spread on SPY, and then in the Telegram channel, the private one, I gave you a premium one on the NASDAQ. So just again, some of you saw a 20% gain on that spread, and you took it. Next time, what I encourage you to do is, when in this case the spread doubled. So what you could have done is you could have yesterday you could have taken the calls, you could have sold the puts, and you could have sold the calls. The calls would have already paid for your puts. So now you have a free trade that has another week or two to expiration. You can use that as a hedge, or you can use that in case the market drops. So I'm trying to give you different ways of using trades. So you could use strangles and straddles to make money, and you can also use it to give you to leg into a free trade. Now, if you guys understand what I just said, please post yes in the chat. I want to make sure you guys understand what I just said so we can move on. That's what I just said. Terry says some of us made 100% on the call. The put is coming around too. Well, Terry, what you could have done is you could have sold the call, and then you would have had a free trade on the put. Listening to you teaching of us how market makers look at market makers, not market makers, floor traders. Market makers don't look at the market this way. Okay. All right. Everybody got it. Ken got it. Ken, yes, everybody got it. All right. Good. See how price is starting to accept these levels? If we can accept these levels higher, we can start filling in this gap, and it's happening before lunchtime, which is very, very good. I really, really like that. That's what I was hoping to see. Okay, I'm still very cautious on longs. I prefer to take shorts that are just doing good right now because, you know, this market is down a hell of a lot. Yes, Buck, they made a lot of money. Good. Very much money. Yes. Yes. I don't have a lot of complainers. I like that. I don't have a lot of complainers. All right, let me give you guys stocks that I'm liking right now to the long side and to the downside. Just made its double bottom. Possibly. But I like how the S&P is looking right now. And again, the reason I took a short today is because it's a long-term short. It's not a short-term. It's been going down for a while. All right, anything can happen today, guys. Anything can happen. You'd be surprised, Ken. I got an email saying I'm making the most money from you, but you're hiding trades from me. You're putting trades. You're distributing trades into other members' area so that you see. Like I know ahead of time which trade is going to make money and which one doesn't, right? Like, yeah, I'm a trade thief, right? I mean, how the hell does that happen? Reporting tomorrow, 100 good volatility. Would you strangle it? Gaston, whether I strangle something depends on the implied volatility and what the technicals say. So you look at the technicals. So here's how I would do it. I would look at RCL. RCL is making swing highs right now. RCL is actually looking really good. You would do a strangle or straddle if you don't. In this case, I would probably just do a call spread or just a call because it's looking really good. It's looking really good here. You got to have a good reason to do a straddle or a strangle. That's why I do one every month, every 2 months. Yes, semiconductors are moving up. All right, let's talk about stocks. We got the 5-minute. We got the Akanashi. Let's come up here. Crude oil is moving up the way we like it. Healthcare is sucking it, which is good for us. All right, first of all, to the short side, we have a breakdown on solar. I need to bring this to your attention. Not so you could trade this. I'm not going to give you a trade on this, but a breakdown in solar typically happens when we have a break up on the energy stocks because they have inverse correlation. Get it? You know, energy, solar, they hedge each other. So if this breaks down, we're going to have some really good stocks. Solar stocks are good NASDAQ stocks that have really good volume, and they tend to be very volatile. So I'm keeping an eye on this, but I'm giving you heads up that solar stocks are breaking down. Okay. Sorry, John, if I missed something, just rephrase the question for me, please, and just repost it. So there could potentially be a breakdown on solar stocks. I don't need you to short the tan. There's some really good stocks that you could choose from there. Now, let's talk about stocks that are bad right now. Like this stock, for example. You could short the stock irrespective of what's going to happen with Google earnings and 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 tech earnings. This is just a shitty company, excuse my French, that has no real business doing well. So anytime the point of this is it's going to get relatively weak to the market, and it's been relatively weak to the market. So, and even look, even when the market rallies, what does it do? It just consolidates, doesn't really go up. That's what a relatively weak stock does. Every day, it just loses more in comparison to the market, loses more in comparison to the market. In other words, it reacts on down days, but not so much on the up days. And over time, it goes down. Now, this has clearly been going down with the market. So this is not a stock you have to be afraid of shorting because of earnings. Now, if related stocks were, let me be clear, if related stocks were if related stocks were doing earnings like Walgreens, for example, I'm making this up. Walgreens, for example, you wouldn't. Yeah, Adam, you and I said the same thing. Up to 10 days, no more than that. Usually 3-4 days. For the pit, we've been holding trades an average of a couple hours to a day, maybe two. We haven't really been uh, holding too long. But in our swing trading programs, up to 10 days. We're about to hit the VWAP to the downside again. So downside here, stop loss right here at about 70-60. No problemo. We're looking at puts. We're doing puts. We got 20, now 15 days, either 15 or 22. You can't go wrong with either. I'll just give you 22 because markets are a little more volatile right now. 72 delta, 70 put right here. By the way, did anybody make money on APP yesterday in the pit? Just want to know. We closed it out yesterday. Josiah made 37% on that. He's one of the guys that helps me out. He did pretty good on that. Okay, good, good. 35%. Good, good. Good, 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 good. Glad to hear that. Oh, good, 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 good. So glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, we went long APP and closed it out. That was yesterday. All right, so let's move on. Another short stock, BMY. Good, 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 good. Sorry about that, Chris. This is definitely not a random trade. Good. By the way, Matt, how's GE doing right now? Let me really quickly check it. Nice. It's starting to move up. Matt, we have GE, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good. Good. Good, 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 good. 49.60. 49.60-ish, maybe 49.70-ish. 22 days out, 71 delta, 47 put. This stock has been nothing but a disappointment. You know, I gave you a webinar yesterday how it was going down, and it's still going down. That webinar was like from months ago, and it's still going down. I would put my stop right above this pivot at about the 179 level. This is a volatile stock. 22 days out, 70 delta, 165 put, Boeing. Keep in mind, I am not screening for earnings. I am not screening for earnings. Okay. Utilities are the strongest sector today, Matt. That doesn't bode well for tech. Pins. Mikey, can you send me an email or wait till I'm done with with what I'm doing here? Thank you. Pins is actually bucking the trend, but it broke the low today. So I would actually, honestly, I would probably want to sell the stock right about right now because it's right. But look, Matt, it's right by. It's doing the opposite. It broke down and now it's right. It's coming to the 8-day moving average.
Yep.
Look at that. This is a crappy stock. And look, is it because do you think Meta or Google or anything is going to have any impact on it? Look, it's been going down for months while the S&P's been going up, down, sideways, everything. My email address. Can you give Mike my email address? Yeah, or Roger at rogerscott.com. It's easier to remember, Matt, for most
Yeah.
folks.
Not for me.
Yeah, 34. 22 put, 71 right here. Delta, 33.50 put. Yeah, that's the one right there. Didn't I give you options on Boeing? I thought I did. Interesting, Eric. Yeah, thank you, Brendan. GE is holding up very nicely today. Very nicely. Very good relative strength. Chips are losing relative strength. Utilities are gaining relative strength, which is not great for the market. And yesterday, the fact that we had consumer staples rally wasn't great either for the market. Oh, ooh, baby, look at this one. Healthcare. I'm pretty bearish on healthcare. You know, I get more excited about stocks, patterns, Matt, than like anything else in the world. You know that? I get really excited. Have you ever seen when I see capitulations? I get really into it, you know? Can't help myself. 68.50. 22 days out, 71 delta. Right here, 67 put. I'll tell you what's holding up really well. Energy stocks are holding up really well. And utilities look like they're holding up really well. You guys know we had more people this morning in my morning live feed than we have here in the VIP room. It's amazing. At 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, John, that's good. That's good. Flat. I'll take flat anytime when the Dow drops 500 points. Yeah, I'll take flat any day of the week. Yeah, right here, 67 put for Guild. Ooh, look at this one. Ay, ay, ay. What a mess. Yeah, Eric, I'm in your boat. I like what the hell's going on, right? It's such a good, I mean, it's always been so good. Jacqueline, sorry, listens from 9 to 10. Yeah, I guess you're in Pacific time or Mountain. Actually, Mountain. No, wait a minute. I guess you listen later. Stop loss right here at 55-ish, maybe a hair higher. Uh, 85 right here, 55 put for Monster. Came pretty close to shorting the stock this morning, but I didn't. All right. Can someone please give me the GE one? I'll mention it when I talk about the upside. I'll mention GE for you. Good. Okay, let's switch to the upside. GE. And by the way, I have a class that I'm going to be helping someone host today. In After this class is done, and it's going to be Nate Tucci on how to hijack options. That have an astonishing 76% win rate. Wow, that's good. Let me post this here in the chat for you guys. Join that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Nate is great. I've known Nate for a long time. One second, one second. Okay. Let's go to the long side. GE, I would put my stop right around here, about 150. I would put, what am I doing? I would look at the calls, obviously, unless I want to be a moron, which I could be sometimes too. 22 days out, 73 calls right here, 150s. And if you want, you can offset them with the 162.50s right here. So your cost is going to only be about $8. You're buying the 150s, you're selling the 162.50s, and you're going 22 days out. Let's talk about stocks that I'm bullish on right now. Please. VRT. I like VRT. I like how it's moving today. It's a tech stock too, by the way. Now remember, folks, again, for the last time, I don't screen earnings. I don't screen earnings. I know a lot of you folks trade earnings. Look how it bounced off the 8-day EMA and then came back up. Very much how Pins is doing right now to the opposite side, to the downside. Yeah, it's been good stock. 77, actually, no, probably right around 79. About 8. I would give myself about $10 on this one. It's a beast. We would go to the calls. We'd go 22 days out. We would go to, you could tell implied volatility is heavy on this one. Right here, 84s. 84s. If you want to offset them, you can offset them with the 92s. AR, resource stock, resource, natural gas, oil, those stocks do really well when the market, when volatility starts rising. I like how it's moving right now. I would put my stop loss right around the 29-ish level. 22 days to go. 72 delta, 3150s right here. Yeah, the market actually, believe it or not, just I want to interject something since we haven't looked at it in a total of 20 minutes. This is good right here. Now it has to just, all it has to do is start accepting prices above these levels. So far, they've been rejected, but let's see if it accepts it. We may get, I think there's some stops right here. So again, that should not impact your, that should not have any impact on your positions right now, unless you're trading specifically this type of volatility, which you shouldn't be doing, because then it will be impacted by today's stocks like Meta and Google. And I'll talk about them before we conclude. Oh, KLG. I still like this stock. I gave it to you yesterday. I still like it today. It's still moving, and it's a defensive stock. I would put my stop loss right here. If it goes up a little more, I would negate the trade because then it's just too far away from the 8-day EMA. But 20, high 20s, 22 days out, 81 delta, 2250 calls. I was itching. Matt will tell you, I wanted to buy the stock so much yesterday that Matt almost said, Roger, go home. I really wanted to buy the stock yesterday. Now, hindsight is 2020, and it would have been a great trade, and you guys would have said you're a genius, but I didn't do anything. I did mention to folks in my pit that I'm dying to buy the stock, but I'm not going to because
GDP.
because of the GDP. Yeah, not because of the earnings on. And I'm glad I didn't. I followed rules because it could have gone the other way. I still like the stock though. 113 would be my stop. 87 delta around the 110 call right here. Let's move on. This stock, now look at here. It accepted this level. It gapped up, accepted this level, and now it's ready to move on to the next level up. Remember, price can only do one of two things. It can accept value or it can reject value. Okay? I'm going to quiz you on that, so remember that. Remember that. All right. Stop loss right here at 523. Tony, Matt will post it for you right now. Just give him a second. About 78 delta. It's too spready. Forget it. Too spready. We'll just skip this one. Genco shipping and Dust shipping seems to be doing very well. Although, notice how this stock has a range. So my suggestion would be to wait for it to come to the lower end of the range and buy it then. I would wait. I wouldn't do it right now. That level is right around about 20 and a half. I would set an alert there and just hold on. I wouldn't do it yet. EQT. This stock is breaking out nicely along with other natural gas stocks. This is one of the 5 trades that we lost, or one of the 5 or 7 trades in the pit that we lost money on. This was one of them. We shorted this stock and it didn't go the way we wanted it to. 37. I still remember all the losers that we took out of 170 or 80 trades. I remember we took 5 or 7 losers. It's amazing. I'm happy to hear that. About 37-ish area. Is anybody who's here right now not in the pit? I'm just curious. If anybody here is still not in the pit, just say yes. Right here. Wow. You guys are really missing out. you now, folks who are in the pit, let them know what they're missing out on. Oh, beg, borrow, steal, get the pit. You call customer service right here, 71 Delta, 3850 call right here. Yeah. Good for you, Sean. I don't know if borrowing is a good idea. Yeah. Larry says the pit paid for itself in 2 trades for me for the lifetime. Thank you, Todd. All right, let's continue. CPNG. No, it's a different product, but I like the stock. And by the way, Matt, remember this morning we were looking for stocks that are hitting the 8-day? Take a look at this thing. CPNG. I would put a stop right here, about 2160. If you guys don't know what the pit is, contact customer service. A pit is a program where I've had a close to 96% win rate on directional trades, including APP yesterday with about 35% gain. And we take trades usually every day. It's the good stuff, Kane. It's the good stuff. I like the stock a lot, actually. I still like IBKR, actually. Frank says, I've been trading for 25 years and have never experienced something like Roger. I just wish I would have come across earlier. Oh, thank you, Frank. That's very nice of you. That's very, very cool. It's nice. Murma says, I'm trying to take out Keyman Insurance on you. Good. Yeah, you should definitely, yes, they're pit. Can you give him the phone number, Benji, the phone number? Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that, Larry. That's very, very nice of you. You guys are very nice. Very nice people. I appreciate that. Okay, so we would go 22 days out. We would go right here, 2150. It's a delta of 68. It'll give you a good spread. Murmus taking a Keyman insurance policy out. You know, Murmus, that's not such a bad idea, actually. Thanks, Matt, for posting it. Appreciate it. Okay, I have one more for you. That's GIS. If we continue, I mean, obviously there's a reason why this is down today. The market is very beat up. Second. I'm trying to scan my futures. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. I mean, the Dow, excuse me, 600 points. I'm almost 100% Roger Trader now. Wow, that's cool, Marshall. That's very cool. Very, very cool. We do have some really great traders in our universe, the pub universe, by the way. You can always email me, sweet chin. You can always email me and I'll forward it to them. Hey, if you guys want to be in the pit, just email me at roger@rogerscott.com and I'll forward it to them. Real simple. Real simple. Um, all right, Matt, do seasonality. I got to get out of here in 10 minutes. I'm going to host Nate for a class, which I'm looking forward to doing. The last time was disaster with you. Matt is not going to be out tomorrow. Matt is going to be in tomorrow, and I'm going to. Last time both Matt and I were out, I had a stomach bug. I was in the emergency room, and so was Matt. Uh, he wasn't in the emergency room. We got a stomach bug from each other. None of us are sick, and I'll be around my phone, and I'll be, I'm always Skyping you and texting you guys. Uh, yes, GIS. GIS. The stop loss would be right here at about 69.50, and your call would be right here at 76 delta, which is a 69 call. So again, I'm not gonna be like lost in space. I'm driving today. I'll be around all day long, and I'll be looking at my computer most of the morning. So I'm not expecting any disasters. And Matt is going to be here, probably working from home, but he will be here. So we will be available. Actually, I'm more available when I'm not here because I can focus on that instead of being here live with you guys, which means I can't place trades live right now. So, not that I don't like being here, it's actually does me a lot of good because I get to analyze stuff and do it. It's like a journal, which really helps me out. For their pub traders to look good because he's a Marvel comic. That's pretty funny, Buck. That's pretty funny. You repost that. That's funny. What about Target? How do you like it? Well, Matt and I were talking about Target today. Matt, take it from here. Talk about Target. He's going to take over the screen, talk about Target, and he's going to talk about seasonality. And I'll be here in the background. Please, please, please go uh to Nate's after this at 1 p.m. and we will make sure we finish by 1 o'clock. Okay, Matt, please take over and do your thing.
Yep. You kicked me off. There we go.
Oh, sorry about that.
I couldn't share. Okay. Target. Definitely at a crossroads. It's sitting at support. The 50-day moving average is there, but it seems to be slowly making its way back up. It's down less than the SPY. It's been above VWAP since, I don't know, a little after 10 this morning. I don't mind it as a long. It's not our bread and butter, but it doesn't look bad. I mean, you're going to know you're wrong pretty easily because if it drops, below this 162.30 level, then it's not holding support. So awesome, Sean. Okay.
And also, one other stock that I might have not mentioned that I like is General Motors to the long side.
General Motors.
General Motors, yeah.
Oh, I see why.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Surprised you don't have it in the pit right now.
Not right now. Not right now. Maybe in the future.
All right, let's go to seasonality. Here is alongside A lot of strong numbers on the long side today. Now, this is a system, so it can oscillate pretty frequently, but consumer discretionary looks good. Healthcare looks good. Consumer staples, tech, industrials, financials, and even the communication sector doesn't look too bad. If we go to the short side, we can disregard almost all of these. The only one that looks decent is energy. But that being said, on the chart, I don't think it looks bearish. So I would not go against energy right now. Now, if I'll show you why. Here's XLE. Looks like it wants to come up and fill that gap. It's not a gap, but fill this space right here. It's been slowly moving up the last 4 days. And you look at crude, kind of the same thing. You might actually, you could have one more day of downside, maybe flirt with the 50-day moving average, but I'm kind of thinking not, unless the rig count tomorrow is bad. Yeah, I think so. Oh, the question was, would XLE and crude be a good buy? I mean, stuff to buy crude. Well, you could buy USO. Yeah, that one doesn't look as good. There we go. All right, let's go to 10-day hold. Excuse me. All right, here is the next 10 market days. Consumer staples are strong. And that's where the list ends. All the profit factors are terrible. Just a side note, if you wanted something to play today, that's starting to look really good. And that's energy. And it's Warren Buffett. So triple threat there. Okay, let's go to the long side. We are loading. Should play elevator music for you when it does this. That's funny, Steven. Yeah, so the SPY's breaking higher. The Dow's breaking higher. The Qs are still down. But energy looks good. There we go. Okay. Roger, didn't you say you liked MasterCard as a short?
I said I like Visa. I'm starting to like Visa as a short.
Well, MasterCard is very strong seasonally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and Visa too. They're moving together. That makes total sense.
No, what I said was if Visa breaks down a little more, it looks like it could be a good short. That's
Right.
That's what I was saying.
Well, they're both extremely strong seasonally.
Good.
Both 100% winners.
Gotcha.
The number for today on the long side is 292. That's decent. It's not amazing. The number on the short side. Oh, shoot. is 90. So again, we wait. That is all I got. There's the link. I will post the week ahead in the members area for you guys for tomorrow. Bye, everyone.